Okay, live with Les. Today or tonight is going to be off the chain, so the kids say these days. We're going to get in our time machine and go backwards to 1980, 41 years ago. We're going to go back to this very month, as a matter of fact, May of 1980, 41 years ago. And we are going to look at the Singing News magazine charts from back then. And I say charts because, well, they had charts. I mean, they had a bunch of charts. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 charts. And we're going to get into that here in just a little bit. But it's going to be good. We're going to be talking to Archie Watkins live on the telephone and Joel Hemphill on that same telephone. And it's just going to be out of this world. It's going to be great. So I can't wait to get it started. And we may have very few on with us tonight, which is pretty typical. The first airing, the first running. But boy, then it just starts getting to where everybody jumps on and we get hundreds and thousands. And just a few days and a week or so into it, you look at the numbers, man, they keep going up. We've got some up into the 20s of thousands. And so it's all great. But we may just have a few tonight. And those few that will be on with us live, whoa, are you going to have a big night tonight? Talking to Archie Watkins, Joel Hemphill, featuring the music of the Imperials, the Hemphills, the Rex Nelon Singers, the Kingsmen, and the Inspirations. Wow. Going to be good. We're going to look at some things that was going on back in 1980. That'll be fun. But we're going to look at all these charts too. Hey, go check us out online. Go to, if you would, go to butlermusicgroup.com and check the store out. And go get yourself a coffee mug right here. Oh, I forgot. I've got multiple pieces of memorabilia tonight. And I almost forgot one. I put it in my coffee mug. Here you go. Right there. That was me 50 pounds ago. Live with Les. Southern Gospel Music, Memorabilia, Memories, and Ministry. And we're going to have all of that tonight. I promise you that. And so go get you a mug there. 4 or 5 of them left. My CDs, Old Time Preacher Quartet CDs, all in the store. Got a few of the hymn books left. The book that I wrote on hymns, my favorite hymns and why. And many of the favorite hymns of some of your favorite Southern Gospel artists, bluegrass, and country artists that love hymns and have favorite hymns and gave us the stories behind it. All that's in the store. So go check that out. Okay. Don't forget to vote for Heart to Heart in the Singing News Fan Awards coming up. The final 5 ballot, the final 5 nominees have been announced and you can start voting sometime in June. So be watching for that. But I'm telling you in advance, in the new artist category, we would appreciate it if you would vote for Heart to Heart. Okay, they're on my family music group label. I'm the producer, radio promoter, friend, and they deserve that new artist spot. They are fantastic. So do that. Also, the Diamond Awards, you can go vote in the Diamond Awards in all the categories. And if you don't have favorites in all those categories, I again remind you to vote for those that are on my family music group label, like Heart to Heart, Barry Rowland and Deliverance, the Williamsons, Old Time Preachers Quartet, yours truly, Heaven's Mountain Band, and all of the individuals within those groups, vote for them in the various vocal categories, songs, and all that stuff. So go and vote. Scoops Magazine. You just type that in there, and it's the Diamond Awards. Okay, now what I want to, those of you who are on here, all 3 of you, if you would be kind enough to share, I'd appreciate it because let me tell you, you're going to have if you're a real Southern Gospel music fan, this is the show. This is it. The Imperials, Hemphills, Kingsmen, Rex Nelon Singers, Inspirations, music. Talking to Archie Watkins, talking to Joel Hemphill. And so if you know any fans of those artists, what you need to do right now, if you don't mind, text them and say, you got to go to Facebook and go to Les Butler's Facebook page because it's getting ready to go down. It's going to be great. So go do that. Okay. All right. What else do we have before we officially get things kicked off? I think that's about it. If you are in the Middle Tennessee area this Sunday, I would greatly appreciate it if you would go and be with the Old Time Preachers Quartet. If you don't have a home church Sunday morning, would you please be kind enough to stop by Middle Tennessee Baptist Church in Murfreesboro? The Old Time Preachers Quartet will be singing at the 10 o'clock worship service. And then that afternoon, 1:30, we're going to be at Fair Havens Baptist Church in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And we want you to be part of that. That's at 1:30 in the afternoon. So come on out and be with us, okay? That is Saturday, both in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Not Saturday, Sunday, both in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. This Sunday, 11 a.m., Middle Tennessee Baptist Church, 1:30, Fair Havens Baptist Church. Okay, so here we are, May 1980. So the Singing News has 5 charts back then. One is called the Singing News May 1980 Top 10 Progressive Gospel Chart. Now, here are some of the songs that they have in the Progressive Gospel Chart. He's Alive, Don Francisco. Jesus on My Mind, B.J. Thomas. I'm Forgiven, the Imperials. A Broken Heart, Dallas Home and Praise. Got to Tell Somebody, Don Francisco. I'll Be Thinking of You, Andre Crouch and the Disciples. Father's Eyes, Amy Grant. Rise Again, Dallas Home. Praise the Lord, the Imperials was number 2. Oh Buddha was number 1, the Imperials. And that is the top 10 progressive gospel chart in 1980. The number 1 song, Oh Buddha, had a banjo, and that was the progressive gospel chart. Okay, so that's the first of 5. Then there's the Singing News May 1980 Top 10 Black Soul Gospel Chart. And that included Reverend Thomas Walker, One Day at a Time, James Cleveland and the Salem Choir, I Don't Feel No Ways Tired, Andre Crouch and the Disciples, Jesus is Lord, Teddy Bear by Jackson Southern Airs, I've Been in the Storm Too Long, Mighty Clouds of Joy. In God's Own Time, My Change Will Come, James Cleveland and the Triborough Mass Choir. God Is from James Cleveland and Southern California Community Choir. Sign Me Up, Fountain of Life Joy Choir. I Got a Blessing Every Day, Mighty Clouds of Joy, and Teddy Huffam and the Gems with Gone the Stone is Rolled Back. You know that one. Okay, so that's 2 of 5 charts. Then number 3, there is the Singing News May 1980 Top 10 Traditional Gospel Chart. And they included Special Delivery by Evie Tornquist Carlson, just known as Evie back then. Husband and Wife, David Ingalls. The Best by Bob Bennett. Here He Comes, Mickey Furman. The Heavens Declare, Bill Gaither Trio. Angels Watching Over Me, Mickey Furman. Hostage Prayer, Pat Boone. I Am Loved, Bill Gaither Trio. Living for Jesus, Evie. Number 1, We Are Persuaded, Bill Gaither Trio. Remember that disco thing that he had going on that? We are persuaded. Number 1 in the Singing News May 1980 Top 10 Traditional Gospel Chart. Now, here are the 2 main charts. One is called the Singing News May 1980 Top 10 Gospel Hits, and that's the one that we're going to be paying attention to. And then they had a compilation chart, the Singing News May 1980 Top 20 Religious Hits chart, and that included all of the stuff combined and the top 20 songs from all of those fields put into the one chart. But we're going to be concentrating on the Singing News May 1980 Top 10 Gospel Hits. This was their Southern Gospel chart. And number 10 was Sweet Beulah Land by Esquire Parsons III. You know him as Squire Parsons. Looking for a City, Jimmy Swaggart was number 9. Number 8 was the Spears, What Sins Are You Talking About? Remember that one? Number 7, More Than Conquerors, the Rex Nelon Singers. Number 6, and it was number 1 on the Black Soul chart. And in the Southern Gospel chart, it was number 6, Teddy Huffam and the Gems, Gone. And then number 5, and we're going to be playing that one in a moment, but I'm going to make a phone call first, and we're going to talk to one of the folks that was actually featured on song number 5 back in May of 1980. And I am going to call the man right now. Let's see if I can get him. Let's try. What do you say? One ringy dingy? Two ringy dingy? Three ringy dingy? He's supposed to be watching for me. He's probably eating a big old piece of bear meat. He's letting me down.
I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach has a voicemail box that has...
Hey to Gene Thorne. Thank you for sharing, watching in Red Bay, Alabama. Thank you, Gene. Nicholas Wilkie, my buddy Les. My buddy Nicholas. Good to see you, Nicholas. You're going to love this show, Nicholas. Old my Aunt Sue, she didn't get on. She was third one in line. She's normally number 1 or number 2. Virgil, oh no, God, I can't read. I've got progressive trifocals, and I'm telling you, I hate them. I've had them for years. I hate them. I can't read anything. Virgil Merritt, hi, Les. Hello, Virgil. Good to see you, sir. Okay, so I guess we won't be talking to Archie right now. Maybe I'll try to run him down here in a minute. But the number 5 song, let me see here. I got to try to figure out where it is that I need to be playing this from. Okay, let's see here. So the number 5 song in May of 1980 was from a group that was having hit after hit after hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. I'm telling you, it was absolutely insane what they had going on in the 70s and in the 80s. Absolutely, teetotally insane. But let me tell you, they had the goods. From Bryson City, North Carolina, the Inspirations Quartet is, of course, who I am talking about. And in May of 1980, they had the number 5 song in Southern gospel music, and I am going to play it for you right now. It's called A Wedding Invitation. The Inspirations, live with Les.
You're invited to a wedding that will be held soon. We are the bride, Christ is the groom, with a crown to wear and a long white robe. We'll walk down the aisle made of pure gold. What is your answer? How will you respond? The groom is asking the bride to come, and the supper will be in heaven, our new home above. Here's a wedding invitation he's sending with love. Now if Daniel can come from a lion's den, if fire can touch 3 Hebrew children, if Lazarus can make it out of the grave, you and I can go by way of faith. What is your answer? How will you respond? The groom is asking the bride to come, and the supper will be in heaven, our new home above. Here's a wedding invitation he's sending with love. What is your answer? How will you respond? The groom is asking the bride to come, and the supper will be in heaven, our new home above. invitation. He's sending with love. Here's a wedding invitation. He's sending with love.
Wow, Kyla Faye Rowland wrote that one. What a song. A Wedding Invitation, The Inspirations, May of 1980. Trying to get a hold of Sister Archie. He was driving earlier this afternoon when I was talking to him, driving from Maine. He was taking a bear dog. That's a bear that will track dog. That's a dog. I'm dyslexic. I always turn everything around. That is a dog that will hunt bears and tree bears for their hunters. And so there you are. That's what you get right there. When you deal with Archie Watkins, sometimes he'll do what he says he's going to do. Sometimes he won't. Oh, Archie, I don't know what I'm going to do with you. So we're going to keep going. All right. So that was a great song. Kyla Faye Rowland, again, the writer of that one. And she is one of the greatest all-time writers ever in the history of Southern gospel music. Somebody say amen to that. You know she is. She's absolutely incredible. And she was sure rolling out the hits back then, was she not? Back in the 70s. She was writing for a lot of the Canaan record folks. She was getting cuts by everybody. She was getting cuts by, of course, the Inspirations. She was getting cuts by the Florida Boys, the Happy Goodmans, Wendy Bagwell and the Sunlighters. I mean, everybody that was on the Canaan record label, which was the top label in Southern gospel music at that time, for my 2 cents, in the history of all of Southern gospel music. They owned the 60s and 70s and 80s, really. Now there were, you had Benson and Heartwarming would be second place. And man, they did incredible work and great artists and great albums. But Canaan Records, man, I mean, I don't know, just partial to them, I guess. And Kyla was sure writing some big hits for Canaan Records back then. That was a good one there. Now, number 4, I got a story about this one. Number 4 was written by a little old bitty lady about this big. She lived in Battleground, Indiana. And she was, I mean, just regular old folk. I'm talking about regular old folk. I used to live up there. And so there were some folks that went to my dad's church. My dad was a pastor. And there were some folks that went to my dad's church. And they lived next door to this woman that I'm talking about, who's written some of the biggest songs in Southern gospel music history. And the Nelons, for my 2 cents, got the pick of the litter of all of her huge songs, one of which we're going to play now. And her name is Dee Gaskin. Now, she lives pretty close to me, but it's been a long time since I've seen her, and I've tried to get in touch with her and have been unsuccessful in my efforts. Certainly an older lady, and she may be running around the throne right now having a shouting fit. I don't know. I hope she's still with us, but I don't know. I've tried to get a hold of her. We went to supper once several years ago. I'd say maybe 7-8 years ago now. Took her to Cracker Barrel in Smyrna, Tennessee, just down the road from us. And we had a good time. But I've tried to get a hold of her here of late and haven't been able to. And so, Dee, if you're in heaven, enjoy. I'm on my way. But if you're still around, I sure would love to talk to you. Matter of fact, I'll come pick you up and come over here to the studio and just hang with me. And she's written big hits, including this one I'm going to play right now. And the Rex Nelon Singers, one of the biggest songs they've ever had in their career is a song called The Sun's Coming Up. Now, this one is not The Sun's Coming Up. This was the next song that she wrote that was a huge hit for them. And in May of 1980, it was the number 4 song in the nation. as written by my friend Dee Gaskin, recorded by the Rex Nelon Singers. Come morning, there's joy for you and for me.
God's children too long have been burdened. They are longing for heaven's green shore, where heartaches are left far behind us, and burdens are carried no more. Come morning, I'll walk by the river. I'll rest neath the evergreen tree. So I'll carry my cross through the midnight. Come morning, there's glory for me. Sometimes I'm despised and rejected, and I question, oh Father, how long? Then I take one more look at Mount Calvary, and it gives me the strength to go on. Come morning, I'll walk by the river. I'll rest neath the evergreen tree. So carry my cross through the midnight. Come morning, there's glory for me. Come morning, I'll walk by the river. I'll rest neath the evergreen tree. So carry my cross through the midnight. Come morning, there's glory for me. Come morning, there's glory for me.
The Rex Nelon Singers, come morning. Hey, there's glory for me. Dee Gaskin wrote it. The Rex Nelon Singers recorded it, and it was a huge hit in May of 1980. Matter of fact, it was the number 4 song of the nation back then. And if my memory serves me correctly, it did go to number 1 by the time it was all said and done, along with that other Dee Gaskin song, The Sun's Coming Up. And wow, good stuff. Now, let's see. I'm going to try Archie one more time. Let's try Archie one more time. Let's see what we got here. Come on, Archie. Put down that big piece of bear meat. Archie, bless his heart. Just bless his heart. I'll be with him one day. I'm going to play this show again. I'm going to say, thank you, Archie. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that, Archie. Oh, well. All right. All right. So we're going to go to song number 3 now. And this group did an old Martha Carson song. Martha Carson was a country gospel singer. And she had a monstrous, a big old hit with a song called Satisfied. Remember that one? And the Kingsmen did it. And I mean, when they did it, they didn't do it like Martha Carson. Matter of fact, they didn't even do it like the Kingsmen, really. They dolled it up big time. And some folks loved it. Others didn't. But enough of them liked it for it to go number 3 in May of 1980. Now, okay, so in 1980, this is going to be fun right here. This is going to be fun. In 1980, I was on a radio station called WYCA, 90.3 FM, Hammond, Indiana. It was a Chicago market station. It got up into Chicago because Hammond is it's Hammond and Lansing and East Chicago and then Chicago, and it's just all bunched up together. And so I hosted a show called Crossroads for Christ, and it was hugely popular. And so whenever the groups would come up north, I would normally be with them and do interviews, and sometimes they'd stop by the station. Sometimes I'd go to the auditoriums, and I always promoted them in advance, and they would buy commercials, and we'd give away tickets and just have a big time up there. And so I was with the Kingsmen somewhere. I don't remember. This could have been at backstage at Mombeck Auditorium in Highland, Indiana, where I went to high school, which, as a matter of fact, since we're talking May of 1980, well, June 1st of 1980, so I'm 24 hours off, I graduated high school then. And so there you go. There's a little, this is Les Butler, Southern Gospel Music Memorabilia, Memories and Ministry. So there's a memory for you. But it was either there or maybe at the Morris Civic Auditorium in South Bend, or could have been at Medina Temple in Chicago. I can't remember exactly, but the Kingsmen were there, and I had them all do what's called liners. And I've got one that was recorded back in 1980 with Ray Dean Reese doing a liner for me and my radio show, and I'm going to play it for you now. And then Jim Hamill, a quick interview that I did with Jim, where he talks about having a surgery. And if I remember right, the way I have this built here on the old cassette player, I've got a cassette of all this that I'm gonna get ready to play. I believe you're going to hear me after the Ray Dean Reese liner, and you're going to hear me kind of setting this thing up with Jim Hamill. Now listen, if you're standing up, I'm giving you fair warning, sit down. Because if you're standing up, when you hear me talk as an 18-year-old boy from Chicago, you ain't gonna believe what you hear. You are not going to believe how I sound. I had a northern, hey, that kind of thing. And I sound like I'm 3, but I'm 18. I'm 6'4". Back then, about 220 pounds, and I sound like I'm 3. So you're going to have a big time laughing at how I sound, but you're going to enjoy Ray Dean Reese talking about a liner, about my show, and Jim Hamill's story. And I hope I have all of this set up right. And let's see what we got.
Hi, I'm Ray Reese of the Kingsmen Quartet. Stay tuned for the best in gospel music this side of heaven with Les Butler here on Crossroads for Christ on WYCA in Howard. That's close enough. Hammond what?
Hammond, Indiana.
Okay, Hammond, Indiana.
I forgot to put Indiana on there.
Hi, I'm Ray Reese with the Kingsmen Quartet. Stay tuned for the best in gospel music this side of heaven with Les Butler here on Crossroads for Christ.
Okay.
On
ready.
WYCA in Hammond, Indiana.
All right, here it is. What's this?
Here, you can be looking at that, but I want to ask you about your illness that you had a couple months ago. How about just telling us the story about that?
Well, we were singing in Hattiesburg. This is Jim Hamill, by the way, with the Kingsmen. Tell them who I am.
I'll tell them all about that before we play the tape.
All right.
Go ahead.
And we were singing in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and I had an emergency hernia, a hernia strangulated, and they took me. I was bowing on the last song and told the MC, I said, get somebody to take me to the hospital because I pulled something loose, And this was on Saturday morning, about 12:30. And we were singing down in Seminary, Mississippi, right outside of Hattiesburg. And they took me to the hospital, and I had a hernia. And they repaired it, went in that night and repaired it. And I was out of the hospital the following Wednesday and playing golf in 10 days and singing in 2 weeks, so it wasn't all that bad. I made the rest of the boys think I was dying so I could get some extra time off. But it really wasn't all that bad. I'm glad to be back, and all the cards and everything have just been wonderful.
Jim Hamill and your old buddy Les going back 41 years, talking about his hernia. And did you hear your old buddy Les talking right there? Did you hear that? I forgot, I didn't forget to put the state down for Ray, but he was there with me in Indiana, and he knew my show was on in Hammond, Indiana, so I figured he knew when he said Hammond that it meant Indiana. Come on, Ray, help a brother out there. So anyway, there's a little Kingsman. This is Les Butler, Southern Gospel Music Memorabilia. That's some memorabilia right there, old archive interview stuff, memories, got it all right there, and ministry. That's what you're watching now. And so the number 3 song, all of that Kingsman stuff, just to simply set up the number 3 song. Okay. So the I got to get this ready. Hold on now. I got to do all this because your old buddy Les, he does it all. He's host, he's TV, he's the camera operator, he's the music director, he does the tapes and the albums and the CDs and the 8-tracks and the reel-to-reels, and I clean the bathrooms and I do the interview. I do it all. Phone people, like Archie Watkins, who doesn't pick up his phone. But so here we go. Let's see if I've got this right. So the number 3 song, Martha Carson did it back in the 40s, I think. And the Kingsmen, they do a version of this that is just, they got horns and they even have girl singers. The Kingsmen have girl singers on this song going back to May of 1980. Let's see what we got. Satisfied. The Kingsmen. Sounds like the Kingsmen so far, doesn't it? Oh, wait.
Well, you may ask me if I'm happy, if I have no peace within, and if I'm worried about tomorrow when I reach my journey's end. I'm satisfied with my sweet Jesus, and when he knocks, I'll let him in. He'll go with me through the valley, for I know he is my friend. Satisfied, yes, I'm satisfied. No troubles can ever get me down. When my eyes are closed and with my Jesus I'll be at rest. Then you'll know I'm satisfied.
Here come the girl singers.
I'm satisfied. When my friends, they all forsake me, and they turn me from their door. If they sow no seeds of kindness, make the thorns in my path grow. It won't matter over yonder when I reach my journey's end, or I'm going to sit down by my sweet Jesus, and I know he is my friend. Well, satisfied, yes, I'm satisfied. No trouble can ever get me down. When my eyes are closed with my Jesus, I'll be at rest. But then you'll know, yes, I'm satisfied. I've got that old time religion, got that old time religion. That is why I'm satisfied.
Did you hear those girl singers with the Kingsmen and trumpets and horns and all kinds of carrying on? And in 1980, in May, that was the number 3 song in all of Southern gospel music. A redo of an old Martha Carson song. And Jim Hamill now, he sang the fire out of the thing. And but what about all the girl singers and horns and whatnot on a Kingsman song back in 1980? Son. All right. Okay. So it is now time for Song number 2. Now I'm going to try to call somebody else here. Okay. Now hang out. Hang on. Let me get this going. Let me see if my other buddy is going to leave me hanging like Archie did. Let's just see.
Hello?
Is this Joel Hemphill?
It is.
Joel Hemphill, this is Les Butler.
Les Butler, I've been enjoying you.
I hope you have, man. I've been having a big time. Have you been watching?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, listen here. First off, I want to thank you for picking up the phone. Archie Watkins is a no good nobody, leaving me hanging like this.
I know Archie, and he's a pretty good boy.
If you say so. All right, then.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Joel. So we're taking a trip back to May of 1980. First off, can you believe that was 41 years ago?
Wow, man. Huh.
Feels like yesterday, doesn't it?
I guess I was a boy, too, Les. You said you were just a boy, so I guess I was, too.
Yes, sir. Boy, I know one thing. The Hemphills were sure churning out some hits back then. And, of course, I don't reckon you wrote them all, but you certainly wrote the majority of them. So talk to us about the number 2 song in May of 1980. As a matter of fact, it's on an album called Home Cookin', which is one of my favorite records. And the song was I'm in This Church. Take me back to that time.
Yeah, well, you know, I was raised in a church that wanted the converts to really get saved, you know, not just join the church.
Yeah.
And you know, you heard that said a lot, or they used to a lot more than you do now, I guess. We had so many join the church. So,
yeah.
But anyway, I wanted to say in a song that I didn't join, I was born, because Jesus told Nicodemus, that ruler of the Jews, he said, you must be born again.
Amen.
And so we've come to, we found out that Jimmy Carter was born again. And I think that phrase got real popular back, long through those years.
Yeah.
And maybe still is. So anyway, that was the idea that I wanted to say that I'm in the church, and I got in this church by being born into the family of God, and not just joining.
And I like the next line you put in in the chorus where you said, I'm in this church. Then you said, it's a glorious church.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it?
Well, it is. It is. We have our problems and all of that, and different things come along, and we've all been dealing with this COVID. It's something else that shut a lot of churches down. I never would have thought anything like that could have happened, Brother Les.
Yeah.
But, God knows what he's doing. And I think it's made some people dig a little deeper. When I first heard that this thing was worldwide and this, affliction or sickness, I said, you know what? That has an end time sound to it. It kind of had an end time feel to it.
Yeah.
But anyway, we don't know how long it is, but we know Jesus is coming back.
Yes.
And he's coming back for his church.
He sure is.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's a glorious church, and I'm glad I'm in it.
I'm glad I'm in it too. I don't mind. I don't back up on that at all. I'm glad I'm saved, born again, and in the church of the living God. It might wear different labels. I don't think the disciples were too hung up on labels. But anyway, we're Christian, and we're saved and born again and rapture ready. And
yes, sir.
So that's a glorious church.
Amen, Brother Joel. Well, let me tell you, I appreciate you writing songs like that, and he's still working on me, and we can go on down the line and on down the list. But thank you over the years for writing them, because it's given me music that I could play. I've played them for 42 and a half years now, and if the Lord lets me keep doing it, we'll just keep playing music just like this, what I call real Southern gospel music. And thank you for giving it to us over the years.
Well, and let me thank you again for putting it out there. If the writers write it, then it has to be recorded, and then it has to be pressed however it's pressed today.
Yeah.
And then if you don't have any DJs taking it to the people, it stops right there, you know.
It sure does.
And so we always honored our DJs at our record table, and they got first class treatment because I mean it wasn't any selfish motive on our part. We really meant it.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of times they're underappreciated and underpaid. And so if a smile from the Hemp Hills or an autograph or a picture or get your picture made with me or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, whatever you can do to help boost it along, well, that's what we were out to do.
Amen. Well, Joel, I love you, brother. I hope to get to see you soon.
Love you, Brother Les. Keep up your good work now. It's just got to happen. You got to keep going.
All right, I'll do it. Hey, I've got this scoundrel Archie Watkins calling in. I'm going to try to get it.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Hello, this is Les Butler. If this is anybody but Archie Watkins, please leave your name and number at the tone. If this is Archie Watkins, you can hang up now.
Les, I am so sorry. Am I too late?
No, Archie, that's okay, buddy. We're on right now, and so I got you on here.
Well, you know, I told you I went to Maine the last 4 days.
Yep.
And took a dog up there for my son-in-law and one of his friends. I drove straight up there a few days and straight back, and they had me to bring 50 pounds of fresh Maine lobster.
Archie Watkins.
And I didn't, well, they paid for it, not me. And I didn't know that they had it planned to cook that as soon as I got back. Well, I got back at 5:30 this afternoon. And I came over here and I thought, now I'll take my phone with me. And they were just out here at one of the boys' cousins' shop, a big shop here where they have cookouts and things, and got a construction business. And we was around there, and there's probably 50 people here, you know, or more, having a big time. And I was standing there, and I ate steak and lobster, and, you know, just kind of feeling good about it. Oh, Lord, Cindy, I forgot. And I went patting on my pocket, and I said, I've left my phone in my truck. I came out here and it's laying here in the seat, so here I am, ready or not. I'm sorry, I'm stupid, and I'm old, can't remember.
Oh, that's all right, Archie. I've been having a good time poking fun at you here on the air.
Well, it's all true.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I tell you how you can make amends for me. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Send me about 2 pounds of that lobster.
Well, I'll never make amends.
Okay, then. All right. Here, I'll settle for this.
Okay.
The next time me, you, and Cindy and Bev are together, you can take us all to Red Lobster, and I'll have one of those cheapies.
Okay, I'll do that. I promise you I will.
Okay.
This fresh Maine lobster. The boys that what I was going to, I was really taking a dog up there and bringing 3 back, and the boys that I was going to see are bear hunters, and they're professional lobster harvesters, or what do they call them?
Yeah.
You know, fishermen.
Yeah.
that's their livelihood. I mean, that's all they do is bring in lobster. And this lobster came in day before yesterday. It's that fresh.
That's fresh stuff.
This was live Maine lobster, and man, it is so good.
Okay, now you've made me hungry. I'm going to stop talking about food. I want to talk about The number 5 song in May of 1980. The Inspirations recorded it. You were the featured singer on it. It was written by Kyla Faye Rowland. It was called A Wedding Invitation. Tell me about that song.
We had been practicing for a new recording for Canaan, and Kyla, we had a few writers that would come to Bryson City, like Squire. He brought Beulah Land over there.
Mm-hmm.
That's another story.
Mm-hmm.
But Kyla came. She had a trio.
Mm-hmm.
Kyla and another gentleman and another lady came to Bryson City to our office.
Yeah.
And we would just sit and let them sing us their songs and play whatever they wanted to. And Kyla sat down at the piano. And if you know Kyla like we do, she is kind of like us. She opens up and lets her fly.
She sure does.
And she sat down at that piano and they'd sing a song. We'd say, sing another. She'd sing a song. We'd say, sing another one. And they sung for a couple hours.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you, for a couple hours. And we didn't hear anything we liked. And that's the way we do. We're very honest about it, because every song that a writer writes don't appeal to every singer, you know.
That's right.
And we kind of judge it by if it touches our heart, you know.
Amen.
And she turned around on the piano stool there, and I can just see it now. She slapped her hands down on her knees, and she said, well, I can't believe I've sung all these songs and you hadn't picked the one of them. And somebody said, well, Kyla, have you got anything else? She said, I've got one more song, but it won't fit y'all. And
Okay.
we said, well, sing it to us. She turned around and started playing the piano. You're invited to a wedding that will be held soon. We are the bride, Christ is the groom. And by the time she got about halfway through it, we was just having a fit. I mean, we fell in love with that song. And Marvin Norcross, we recorded it, and Marvin Norcross came up with an idea to, they were sending out 45s for singles.
Oh, yeah. I was getting them.
Yeah. Did you get what they sent out? They sent a wedding invitation.
Yeah.
With a white 45 record.
Yes, sir.
45 RPM record of wedding invitation.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
you said you're invited to a wedding. And just a real neat, it was so impressive. And it wasn't a cheap thing. It was really nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Kana did everything right.
They did. Marvin did.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
Marvin.
Yeah.
But
You're right.
they promoted that, and it was one of the most powerful songs. Kyla don't write a song that don't have a good message,
Oh, no.
She writes has got a good message.
That's right. Yeah.
And that song was so powerful, and it was unusual, and they packaged it right and presented it right to the radio stations. And God, it was God. Les, you know how that is.
Yes, sir. I do.
If it's the Holy Spirit of God moves on something, you probably heard an old preacher say this: you can't start it, you can't make it happen, and you can't stop it.
That's right.
And when God starts moving on something like that, He, in spite of us, it'll happen.
Yeah. I'm familiar with that program. In spite of me, things happen.
In spite of me.
Yeah.
And that's been the story of my life. In spite of me, it's happened. God has just built a hedge around us and protected us and blessed us and used us. And
Amen.
It's just overwhelming how a song like that touches people. And if I'm going to sing a song, I want it to touch my heart.
Yeah.
First of all, I feel like if it don't touch my heart, I don't know if it'll touch anybody else's heart, you know.
And the good news is if it touches your heart, it will touch other people's heart.
You better believe.
Yeah.
You better believe.
Yeah.
And you know, we've seen you've been there. We've seen things come, and you can remember when Dottie Rambo came on the scene, and in the late '60s, and just God was all over her, and she was writing songs right and left.
Yeah.
You know, and Hyla same way. Squire Parsons, you know, that was the way Squire was. He God really touched him.
Yeah, sure did.
To write a lot of great songs, and you know, and we just a lot of people try to give us credit for something, and you know what we tell them? It's the song.
Yeah,
it's the song.
Yeah,
you know, it's the song. If you don't have a good song, then it's hard for you to ever, you know, establish much.
Yeah, yeah, boy, that's the truth.
You got to have a song, and God blessed us with that.
Yeah, you had a bunch of songs over the years.
See, songwriters, and we'd try to tell them, you know, don't try to pick one of your songs for us. Let us hear them all.
Yeah.
Because the ones who think we can't do, Colbert Croft, when we met Colbert and Joyce.
Yeah.
Down in we met them in
down in Florida.
In
Georgia.
Valdosta.
Yeah,
Valdosta,
Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah.
We sang down there. And he was pastor of church down there. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember we stayed over after the singing, and sat on before the singing one, sat on the bus a little while and talked, and they played us some of their songs. And we'd never met them before, never heard them before, you know. And they said, we've got one more song, and we don't think it'll fit you. That's what, you know, that you just might as well get ready when they say that. They said, we don't think it'll fit you. And they started singing the song, Obey the Spirit of the Lord, you know, and Jack just really did a great job on it. It was anointed, and it was a big part of our first Canaan album, you know, and it was, I mean, you know, it wasn't a radio charting song, but it was a real spiritual, uplifting song, you know.
Yeah.
That a lot of people really appreciated the message, and just it had a beautiful melody and good harmony. It's just God, and you know, it's hard to put your finger on stuff like that.
For sure. Yeah.
You know, if you ask everybody in the business, you know, how a song came about, they're a lot of times they're an unusual story, you know.
Hey, Brother Archie, before I let you go, I got to go on to the next thing. Before I let you go, though, I've got a couple folks here that's on with me, and I'm just going to read what they typed out. Brian Hoffman says, love Archie. And then Jimmy Hayes says, the inspirations, my favorite memories from my childhood. I'm 65 years old. Thank you, Archie, for being such an inspiration to me. And Carol Garrett Skeen says, hi, Archie. Tell Cindy hi for us. Miss seeing you guys. So
bless your heart.
You got some folks that love you, Archie.
I am so humbled. I've been blessed, and I'm 72 now, and still can get up in the morning and on my clothes for myself. And eat breakfast and go to work in the garden and have a good day and enjoy life. And the boys are out singing and doing great. And I'm going to kind of slow down and, you know, just do a few things, but I'm not going to ever give up.
Amen. Good.
And I just praise the Lord for what he's done for me.
I got one more person saying hey to you, Jeff Gibson. Remember him from Heaven Bound?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Jeff Gibson says, great to hear, Brother Archie. Great memories.
Well, I think of them a lot.
Yeah.
They were good buddies.
Yeah, man. I miss them too.
They had a great group.
Well, Archie, I'm going to hang up on you, brother, because you didn't buy me no lobster or steak or nothing. So I'm mad and I'm going to hang up on you.
I owe you one, Les.
All right, Archie. Thank you, brother.
Don't you let me forget it.
Oh, I won't, Archie.
God bless you, Les. I appreciate what you do, old buddy.
Love you, buddy. God bless you, Archie.
All
right, bye-bye. Okay, so there you are. He finally got in there after eating a big old steak and lobster and hanging me out high and dry. But that's just how Archie does it sometimes. That's okay. We still love him. Hey, real quick, let me say, Roland Kesterson of The Inspirations got on there and said, hello to the boss man. We love you. Let's see who else is on with us. Before I play let's see, we've climbed the ladder to the number one spot. I haven't told you what the number one song was yet. May 1980 Singing News chart is what we're looking at on today's Live with Les. So the number one song's coming up, but let's see who all's on here with us. Roland from The Inspirations, Jeff Gibson from Heaven Bound. Jeff, love you, brother. And Carol, Garrett Skeens, say hey to everybody. Tell Dwight I am getting a hold of the horns of the altar of God on his behalf. Y'all pray for Dwight Skeens, my friend, a preacher buddy down in Lakeland, Florida, battling cancer, and he's got an issue with his pancreas. And the devil's been poking around on him, and we're getting tired of it, and we're calling out on God. We want you to join us on that, okay? His name is Dwight Skeens. You put him on your prayer list. Brian Hoffman, loving Archie, and we told you about Jimmy there, and Larry Goodlock. I hope I said that close to right. Saying, good show, Les. Well, thank you, Larry. And Carol says, Skeens Bunch watching. Hey to the Skeens Bunch. Larry, watching from Armory, Mississippi. Good to have you with us here. Daryl Sheely says, hey, brother, still in Arkansas, heading toward home tomorrow. We'll be safe, praying for safe travels for you, Daryl. God bless you, brother. Patty Graham, Ohio Patty, good to see you. Rebecca Cooley from Mount Sterling, Kentucky. Oh, Rebecca took care of my dad when he was in his last days, and was just a blessing. And Rebecca, you are a blessing, and thank you for what you did for my dad. And thank you for watching tonight. I hope you've enjoyed this. Okay, so, well, who else jumped on? Linda Wright. Hey to Archie from Asheboro, North Carolina. From Donnie and Linda Wright. So Archie, hopefully he's listening and getting the rest of these. Now, I forgot to show you, the number 2 song was I'm in This Church by the Hemp Hills, and I forgot to show you the album. And I'm going to show you something here. Let me get it up here to the camera. It says Home Cook. Now, okay, this was from the radio station that I worked for in Hammond, Indiana, Chicago Market Station, WYCA. And whenever they got rid of some of the programming, mine included, because they were just redoing and it was silly, and they made a bad mistake, not getting rid of me, but getting rid of the Southern gospel music. And so anyway, they let me take the whole collection. Thank the Lord. But now I just want to show you something here. See that first little sticker up there? It says Home Cooking, the Hemp Hills. And it's got 2-2 and 2-4. You make me want to sing, and he is nothing less than beautiful. Those were songs that they played on their contemporary Christian music programming, which was Afternoon Drive during the week. The Hemp Hills, now getting contemporary Christian music airplay back in the late 70s and early 80s, and stuff that, they'd laugh in contemporary radio today. There wasn't really anything all that contemporary about it. But they played music like the Hemp Hills and Rusty Goodman and a whole bunch of other folks. And then on the Crossroads show, they approved those cuts right there. I'm in this church. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful lights along the shore, all for the Crossroads show. And so I just thought you would get a kick out of that. Hemp Hills, look at that. Look at there. Fried chicken in the country cooking and home cooking and all that, and contemporary Christian music. That's absolutely hilarious to me. Now, so that brings us to the number 1 song in May of 1980. But I tell you what, before we do that, you know what I'm going to do? Let's look at 1980 for just a moment. Average income was $19,173. Hey, while I'm talking here, let's see who else we got. We got Scott Madden, Charleston, South Carolina. Good to see you, Scott. Greg Fox of the Kingsmen. Now, I've already played your Kingsman stuff there, Greg. You missed it, buddy. Sorry, late crazy around here for quite some time. It's okay, Greg. Been praying for you, buddy. Jeff Gibson saying hey to Greg, and Greg saying hey to Jeff. All right, now, while I'm telling you these, I want you to do me a quick favor. Well, first off, please share this show, because anybody that loves real Southern gospel music will love the interview I just did with Joel, the interview I did with Archie, and this great music I've played with, so far we played the Inspirations, Rex Nelon Singers, Kingsmen, and the Hemp Hills. And the number one song is Moments Away. But I want you to type in there what you were doing back around May of 1980. And I'm going to read some of that here in a minute. May of 1980, where were you and what were you doing? Now, the average income was $19,173. New car cost about $7,200. A dozen eggs, 50 cents. Postage stamp, 15 cents. Let me see here. We got milk. Milk was about $1.25 a gallon. Don't you wish we had all that back? And let me see here. We got Rubik's Cube started in 1980. U.S. defeated Soviet Union. You know, Miracle on Ice. Remember that? Loved it. The Clinton News Network was launched in May of or in 1980. CNN, the Clinton News Network. Post-it notes, 1980. And remember John Wayne Gacy. Killed 33 boys and buried them under his house. Remember that? He was sentenced to death in 1980. Wow. Boy, what a story that was. So things going on there in 1980. Okay, so now while I'm getting ready to play the number one song back then. And kind of the opposite of the Hemp Hills. Southern gospel group getting contemporary Christian airplay. Well, this was a contemporary group getting Southern gospel airplay. So much so that it went to number one in the country. Are you ready for it? Here we go. The Imperials, Old Buddha.
Well, old Buddha was a man, and I'm sure that he meant well. But I pray for his disciples, lest they wind up in hell. And I'm sure that old Muhammad thought he knew the way. But it won't be Hare Krishna we stand before on the judgment day. No, it won't be old Buddha that's sitting on the throne. And it won't be old Muhammad that's calling us home. And it won't be Hare Krishna that plays that trumpet tune. And we're going to see the sun, not Reverend Moon. Well, I don't hate anybody, so please don't take me wrong. But there really is a message in this simple song. You see, there's only one way, Jesus, if eternal life is your goal. And meditation of the mind, it won't save your soul. No, it won't be old Buddha that's sitting on the throne. And it won't be old Muhammad that's calling us home. And it won't be Hare Krishna that plays that trumpet tune. And we're going to see the sun, not Reverend Moon. Well, you could call yourself a Baptist and not be born again, a Presbyterian or a Methodist, and still die in your sin. You can't even be charismatic, shout and dance and jump a pew. But if you hate your brother, you won't be one of the chosen few. Cause it won't be a Baptist that's sitting on the throne, a Presbyterian or a Methodist that's calling us home. And it won't be a charismatic that plays that trumpet tune. Let's all just live for Jesus, because he's coming back real soon.
Sing along with him.
Oh, it won't be old Buddha that's sitting on the throne, and it won't be old Muhammad that's calling us home, and it won't be Hare Krishna that plays that trumpet tune, and we're going to see the sun and not Reverend Moon, and we're going to see the sun and not Reverend Moon, not Reverend Moon.
What about a contemporary Christian group, #1 in Southern gospel music with a banjo on it? Old Buddha, #1 in May of 1980. What about all of that? Well, let's see what else we got going on right here. Let's see. Daryl Sheely said, May of 1980, I was thinking about finishing the 8th grade. Notice he said thinking about finishing. He never did say if he finished it or not. Patty says, in May 1980, I was finishing my sophomore year of high school. Y'all are young bucks. Greg says, I was on stage around the country on weekends as a junior in high school. High school track and golf and baseball during the week. Kingsman drummer on the weekend. Greg Fox, son, you were busier than all get out. No wonder your back's hurting you, all that carrying on you did as a younger kid. 1980, Dwight started as a full-time pastor in Marion, Ohio, making a whopping $100 a week. Woo! Tall cotton, Brother Dwight. Well, did we have a good time tonight talking to Joel Hemphill? Did we have a good time tonight talking to Archie Watkins, hitting the rewind button 41 years, going back to May of 1980? That was my second year in Southern Gospel Radio. I started 2 years even before that on WJOB in Hammond, Indiana, as a radio explorer while I was still in school. But my first paying gig started in the first Saturday of October of 1978. And so May of 1980, I was eyeball deep as a DJ on WYCA in Hammond, Indiana. I was promoting folks like, well, the Inspirations, Heaven Bound, speaking of a couple, the Kingsmen. I stroked checks to everybody I just said right there as a promoter, as well as playing them on the air and writing for the U.S. Gospel News, going way on back 41 years ago. Great, great memories. I hope you've enjoyed. And I had one more thing I was going to show you. It had to do with the Kingsmen. Greg, see if you remember this. A signed baseball from when you all did the Game of Life. Matter of fact, right there, see, there's your, let me see. There's Ed Crawford. There's his signature. There's Anthony Berger's signature. This is upside down. Let me see. There's your dad, Eldridge Fox, his signature. Let me keep going here. Beaver, Gary Dillard, went home to be with the Lord just a little while ago. Let me see what else we got. Oh, Greg, look at there. Greg Fox. Greg, you see your signature there? Greg Fox. There's Jim Hamill. Let me see if I can find Ray Dean. Where's Ray Dean at? There's Gary Dillard. Arthur Rice, back when he was with the Kingsmen. What about that? You didn't think Arthur was that old. There's Arthur. Where's Ray Dean at? I know he signed this thing. Anthony, Ed, Eldridge, Greg, Hamill, Beaver, Arthur. Oh, there it is. He did it in some kind of weird orange. You can barely see it. It's underneath Arthur Rice's signature. You see it right there? Ray Dean Reese. So there you go. Another piece of memorabilia. This is Les Butler, Southern Gospel Music, which we knocked it out of the park tonight. Memorabilia. Hello. The vinyl. Did you enjoy the vinyl that we showed you? Tons of memories. And Archie and Brother Joel took care of the ministry part and did a fine job, I think. Well, let's read the last pieces here, and then we're going to call tonight. Carol said 1980 Dwight's. Oh, I already did that. Daryl said, if Jethro Bodine can be a brain surgeon with a 6th grade education, I can pastor with almost an 8th grade education. River Valley High School class of 1984. Daryl, I'm proud of you, sir. God bless you. Jeff Gibson, great show. Always a blessing. Jeff Gibson, love you. Bless you, brother. And again, folks, please hit share on this so all real Southern gospel music fans can be blessed by tonight's show. Saturday, I want to be on. Tim Rabin's going to be sitting right here with me with a guitar, and he's going to sing some songs that I've asked him to sing that's going to bless your socks off. So if I think it's going to be at 1 p.m. Central Time. I'm telling you, set an alarm. You do not want to miss this. Tim is Marty Rabin's brother. You know Marty Rabin from, he sings Sweet Beulah Land and just sings the paint off the wall on that. And he does, I can't even walk without you holding my hand. My word, he tears it up. And, he started the group Shenandoah and all that. And he does bluegrass and bluegrass gospel. And Tim is his brother. And Tim is equally talented as a singer, as a songwriter, and as a musician. And he is my friend. And I'm excited to bring him to you Saturday. Okay. We'll see you then.